Let's call the meeting to order for the Village of Round Lake Beach. This is our board meeting for February 24th, 2020. Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk.
Here.
Valdez.
Here.
Trustee Stout.
Here.
Trustee Nichols.
Here.
Trustee Cleveland.
Here.
Mayor Hill.
Here. Let the record show a quorum is present. Would you all please rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections on the agenda? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Cleveland,
Second.
second by trustee Stout. We have a motion and a second. Once again, any corrections, clarifications on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved as written. We have our meeting minutes from our council meeting on January 20th, 2020. Any corrections, clarifications there? Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Motion by trustee Stout,
Second.
second by trustee Husk. We have a motion and a second. Once again, any questions, clarifications on the minutes? Again, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved. We have approval of our expenditures. This month, we have $935,133.60. Some of the larger items there are Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Insurance is a little over $132,000. CLC Jawa for our Lake Michigan Water, we have one from December, one from January. They're each a little over $141,000. There's a myriad of other bills throughout there that the board have all reviewed, the staff have all reviewed. Any of the trustees have any questions on any of the bills? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Cleveland.
Second.
Second by trustee
Yes.
Scott Nichols, trustee Nichols. We have a motion and a second. Any questions on any of the bills? Please call the roll.
Trustee Nichols.
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Stout.
Aye.
That's approved. We have no ratifications tonight, so any of the trustees have any reports?
You do, Your Honor. The Round Lake Beach Cultural Civic Center, you might want to check out our Facebook page. We have a few events coming up this coming month. One being the fireside chat with Stephanie Bynum and yourself. Stephanie's from the Coles Children Museum, which the reason we want you to check out the Facebook page is because they will be coming here again late March and in April. So please make sure you check that out and come out and see it. It's an incredible, incredible event.
And it's free.
Yes, and it's free. Also, Creedence Revived, another of our concert series, winter concert series, Saturday, March 21st at 7:30 p.m. We're having a lot of advanced ticket sales. This group is well known, I'm assuming, because tickets are really going. So please get online and get those tickets early. Should be a great night.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any of the trustees have any announcements tonight? There's a few items under the mayor's report. First of all, I just want to remind everyone about the census coming up. They'll be mailed out probably starting about middle of March. Make sure when you get that census, you have the ability nowadays to go online and report your census. Makes it much simpler, much quicker, much easier. Census is very important for all of our residents in Round Lake Beach and through other communities too. A lot of our tax dollars that we get from the state and federal government are through the number of people that live in the community. So we'd like to make sure everyone does report an accurate account. The census is in no way used for anything except for the census count. No one has access to that except for the census. So you can be confident that no one will use it for any ulterior motives. I look forward to that. And you can also return it online. I believe the library also is going to have some kiosks set up. If you don't have a computer at home, you go to the library, type in your individual number that they give you in your census form, and report it right there. See, we have 3 items of business then. First is the appointment of new police pension commissioner. So you all, well, most of you probably know, being police officers and groups like that. Ed Garou moved out of Round Lake Beach. It's created a vacancy in the police pension commission. So I'm going to be appointing Bill Murphy to that position. Bill's lived in Round Lake Beach for quite some time now. He's a small business owner, does a lot of finance and insurance information, so he's going to be a great addition to that board. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved?
Motion by
Second.
Trustee Nichols, second by trustee Husk. We have a motion and second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Cleveland.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Stout.
Aye.
Trustee Nichols.
Aye.
That's approved. Bill, would you mind stepping up here? We'll get you sworn in.
Bill Murphy, do you solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
I do.
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
I do.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Police Pension Board
I will.
for the term running from 2/24/2020 to 4/30/2022, according to the best of my ability, so help me God?
I do.
Bill. Bill.
Hey, Bill, don't walk away too fast. Bill, you got to sign here. Not in blood this time, just remember with pen will work. Congratulations, thank you.
Congratulations.
So much of what we do in any community, especially around Lake Beach here, is helped us by people like Bill stepping up, serving on these commissions and committees. It makes a big difference in how things get done and to make sure they do get done properly. So thank you, Bill. Yeah, we have two other items here. I think I'll turn it over to the chief.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. We will start off the annual police awards presentations tonight, and we'll start off with Commander Grace.
Good evening, Mayor and Village Board. If I can have Terry Van Bledo come forward. As she's coming up, the Round Lake Beach Emergency Management Agency is fortunate to have over 40 volunteers that covers 151 events last year. Each year, we try to recognize one volunteer that goes above and beyond in their duties and award them the Donald Portson Volunteer of the Year Award. This year's recipient was nominated by 3 of her peers and received unanimous support by the awards committee for this award. This year's winner is Lieutenant Terry Van Bledo. Lieutenant Van Bledo is a 4-year member with our group. This year, she used her personal time to become certified as a mental health first aid instructor and has taught this course throughout the country, or the county rather. She is also a community emergency response team trainer for our group, and she's always working hard to help us with our events, whether it's a holiday party or a 4th of July picnic, or even an outing to the Chicago Wolves game. When an emergency call out occurs and we're scrambling for volunteers, chances are Lieutenant Van Bledo will find a way to get out to that scene. Each call out is a sacrifice and comes with inherent risks. This summer on Rollins Road at a major crash scene, the Van Bledos were directing traffic when a motorist fell asleep at the wheel and drove full speed into their personal vehicle, totaling their vehicle. That's one example of some of the sacrifices our volunteers make for our community. Lieutenant Van Bledo is also responsible for our group's public Facebook page, where she takes time to find safety tips and emergency preparedness information to share with the public. One of the most challenging roles that Lieutenant Van Bledo performs is her duties as our group's treasurer. I, for one, benefit greatly by her organizational skills and her tracking of our financial records, and it's a great service for us. So tonight, we honor you, Lieutenant Van Bledo, for your sacrifice and service not only to our group, but the communities that we serve. As the 2019 Donald Portson Volunteer of the Year, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, I'd now like to call Lieutenant Goldberg and Jackie Mamiha to come forward, as well as Steve Shirley and Jesse Ferris. As I talked about before, our volunteers go above and beyond, not just in our communities, but through their everyday life and everything that they do and we appreciate all that they do. And in this particular case, on the night of August 30th, 2019, Steve Shirley and Jesse Ferris, along with their 8-year-old son, Braylon, were traveling down Route 20 in Belvedere, Illinois. Sadly, a vehicle veered over the center line, striking their vehicle head-on. The impact of the crash resulted in numerous broken bones, to include major compound fractures, as well as being trapped inside their vehicle. Fortunately, Jack Mimiha and Lieutenant Goldberg happened to also be traveling on that roadway, who are both trained to handle emergencies. Upon observing a major crash scene with no rescue personnel on scene, Jackie Mimiha and Lieutenant Goldberg sprung into action. Jackie immediately activated her orange flashing lights to alert oncoming traffic as they both made their way to the crash scene. Jackie began assessing the injuries of one vehicle and soon discovered a young, scared, and injured driver needing assistance. Jackie would remain by her side and assist her through this whole ordeal. Lieutenant Goldberg assessed Steve and Jesse's vehicle and first helped their son Braylon from the vehicle where he would remain safe. Lieutenant Goldberg soon realized that the remaining occupants had significant broken bones and were pinned in the vehicle. Being in a motor vehicle accident is always a scary event. However, being trapped in a motor vehicle with extensive injuries is on a whole nother level. When rescue personnel arrived on scene, Lieutenant Goldberg briefed them on the seriousness of the crash. Rescue personnel then covered Steve and Jesse with a protective blanket, and Lieutenant Goldberg stayed with them under this protective blanket. As rescue personnel began to use loud metal saws and jaws of life to free them from the vehicles, Lieutenant Goldberg reassured them and talked them through this traumatic event. Fortunately, rescue personnel were able to free Steve and Jesse from that vehicle, and their lives were saved that day. The efforts of Lieutenant Goldberg and Jack Mimiha required courage and selflessness. Their efforts also made a traumatic event a little easier to cope with. It is for these reasons that you are both being awarded the Meritorious Conduct Award. And before we proceed, Steve or Jesse, would you like to say a few words?
I have a lot of things that I would like to say. I won't take too much of your time. The greatest thing that I can say is just a big thank you, not only to Jeff and Jackie, because there's not a doubt in my mind that Jesse would not be with us if it wasn't for them. But also to everybody in charge of this program, as well as their families, because of the sacrifices that they make. I can't believe the journey that we've been through, and both of them have been our biggest supporters through all of this. These are wonderful people that were definitely our guardian angels that evening. And as we've begun our recovery, we've always had this mantra of one bone at a time, and here we stand on our last one, and we're going to develop our next one, which is going to be one muscle at a time as we begin to re-strengthen. But I just want to say thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Nice.
Thank you for coming in tonight, guys. Greatly appreciate it.
As I mentioned about volunteers, exemplary right here, exemplary.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
I want to thank the chief for letting me go after the two heroes and the horrific crash victims. Thank you very much for that. I'm Gary Lund. I'm a commander here with the Raleigh Police Department. I'd like to invite Kelly Clancy up here, please. Many of you already know Kelly. Let me tell you a little about Kelly Clancy. Kelly moved to Chicago from Lake County, to Lake County in 2006. Wanting to learn more about her community, she joined the CAT, which is the Community Action Team, back in 2007. She volunteers at various events such as National Night Out, the Bike Rodeo, Shop with the Cop, the Roadside Cleanup held each spring and fall. Kelly joined the Police Foundation in 2017 as Vice President and Special Chair Events. She was a Regional Events Manager in Atlanta for 5 years, where she was responsible for thematic corporate regional trade shows and building vendor relationships. Kelly's encouraged a few friends to join Friends of the Foundation and volunteer at community events. I've worked alongside Kelly with Kat. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of her dedicated and hard work. She's not getting paid. She showed up to every single one of the events, whether it be a shop with a cop, whether it be a bike rodeo, whether it be a cleanup when it's freezing cold and rain, or a billion degrees out with a million mosquitoes. She was always a smile on her face. I can't thank her enough. She's done so much with the foundation since she's been on here. And like I said, she's one of the best citizens in Round Lake Beach that I know. And we would like to present her with the award for the 2019 Citizen of the Year.
Congratulations.
Thanks for everything.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the board. It's my honor to present to you the 2019 Round Lake Beach Police Officer of the Year. I would like to call up Detective Bobby Barrera, please. On January 23rd of 2020, the awards committee met and convened, and after a lengthy deliberation, Detective Bobby Barrera was selected as our 2019 Police Officer of the Year. Not only after that lengthy deliberation, he also received multiple nominations for that. Detective Barrera, you are being recognized for regularly going above and beyond what is expected of your position. You consistently possess a professional demeanor, and your fellow officers are in agreement that you not only work well with others, but you are always willing to help. You've also proven yourself to be a leader outside of work by participating and volunteering in community events sponsored by the department. You are to be recognized for your work ethic, dedication to our community here, ownership you displayed for this department. For all these reasons and many more, you have been selected as the Round Lake Beach Police Officer of the Year for 2019. Congratulations on a job well done. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Congratulations, Bobby. Great job.
Nice job. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Now for the last part, Mayor and members of the board. Before I get started, I want to recognize people who understand what we're about to go through. I see retired Officer Malador standing in the hallway over there. I see Rich Chiarello's here somewhere back there. I have Chief Bittler here. His beautiful wife Sue Bittler's here as well. Ref Kaufman is in the audience today. I see County Board Member Dick Barr, who helps out with the foundation, used to and is a big supporter, and Nancy. There's so many of you here, so hopefully I didn't forget anyone, okay? But I'd like to call Mike Scott up here. You see Scott? I'd also like to call up Sheila, Danielle, and Jacqueline, if they could come up here. I am really gonna make this short because I get very emotional, so. So if you know the tremendous weight of the badge, thank you. If you know the tremendous weight of the badge, and Mike has carried it proudly with distinction for over 28 years. Mike has announced his retirement, and we would like to present him to you, Mayor and board members, and let you know how honored and proud we are of his service. Now I will let Mike say a few words. Whew, I made it.
I heard what wonderful things everyone has done tonight. All I'm here to say is I'm leaving. So I wish I had more. So thank goodness I did say a few words. Mayor, board, after 28 years with Round Lake Beach Police Department, I'll be retiring on March 4th. Thought I'd get farther, to be honest. Everybody won the bet. They knew it wouldn't happen. I want to thank you for your confidence and support during these 28 years. 28 years here, that's more than half my life, actually. I'm the old guy here, one of the longest. I think America's got me beat in time, but in age, I am the old guy. I've seen many changes and advancement in the village and the police department, and all positive, modern changes. During my time, I've had the opportunity to work with local, state, and other government agencies, and I'm going to tell you, you got one of the best police departments there are. I've seen all those other police departments say it's 5 o'clock, we're going home. It's Saturday, we don't work. Well, that's not what these guys and girls do. You're lucky, you've got a good group here. Gil, Chief Rivera. We've worked together for 20 years, and I've learned a lot from you. But your friendship I'm gonna miss the most. I'll take our fond memories, our discussions, especially the ones we disagreed on, and I actually won, because it was on there. I've written them down, because they're memorable, at least to me. I got the dates in my calendar. I did want to recognize Sandy as well, Gary, and Rich, thank you. And Rev, you've been a staple in this community long before I got here. Everybody knew you, everybody knows you, and thank you guys for coming out. Command staff, each command staff person here. I have learned so much from each of you. You've been an ear to bend to go for advice, and I greatly appreciate that. To the rest of the staff, you do great work. You really do. Keep it up. This can be a tough job sometimes. Keep it up. Thank you to some of my friends that came out, Chris and Mary. Ken and Vicky, thank you. If I thought that was going to be the easy part, here comes the tough part. To my family. Jacqueline, didn't you? I've been married for 29 years. This is a tough career. It puts a strain on marriages. Some survive, some don't. Mine's been a strong marriage, and I've been lucky. Without her support for all these years, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm very lucky for that. Thank you. I love you. I'm also fortunate to have two wonderful daughters. In police work, it's shift work. It's nights, weekends, holidays, sporting events, whatever events they might have. You miss them. Sometimes you do, sometimes you get there. So thank you for being understanding for all those times. As I move into my next phase of life, I realize what a great group of people I have worked with. How lucky I've been to work with you, laugh with you, and create so many memories with you. Some we shall never talk about again. We brought a couple up the other night. Let's just forget about that. You know what I'm talking about? Ryan, you know it too. To the community and everyone else here, there is no one person that makes this village good or great. There's not one person that does it. It's the aggregate of everybody you've heard tonight and people you don't even know. Whether it's Mobile Eye, the fire department, the chief, the village board, no one person does it. This is a great village. The services that this village provides can't be done by one person. It's because of community. It's because of the law enforcement, the elected officials. That's who makes this community great. And it's very unique. You have a unique community here, and you're very fortunate. And sometimes you don't know it unless you're amongst it, and you see it. And it's that I'm going to miss the most. So thank you.
Mike, it's very awesome all you've done for our community over all those years you've been here, starting out as a patrol officer, ended up at the top there, and you've made so many great changes in our community. And you just said it very well. It's a team effort. Everyone works together, and you guys have just elevated this police department to the top. I'm so proud of you guys all. Thank you so much.
That's it, Mayor, and for the rest of you, there is still cake on the other side.
If you all wouldn't mind just waiting for just one more minute, we have one proclamation here we'd like to read. I know suicide's unfortunately way too prevalent in first responders, and I would appreciate you, if you don't mind sticking around. Can't force you. So we have our next item C, is Hope for the Days 2020 National Suicide Prevention Proclamation. If our clerk would please read that.
Whereas September is known globally as Suicide Prevention Month, the National Suicide Prevention Action Month proclamation was created to raise the visibility of the mental health resources and suicide prevention services available in our community. The goal is to speak openly about the importance of mental health and the impacts of suicide to help remove the surrounding stigmas and to direct those in need to the appropriate support services. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income, level, religion, or background. And according to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, AFSP, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among adults and the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 and 34 in the U.S. And whereas more than 47,000 people died by suicide across the United States in 2017, which according to the CDC was more than twice the number of homicides, with an average of 129 suicides completed daily, which includes active military and veterans accounting for 13.5% of all suicides nationally. And whereas each and every suicide directly impacts a minimum of 100 individuals, including family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, and community members. And whereas Round Lake Beach is no different than any other community across the country, but chooses to publicly place our full support behind local educators, mental health professionals, athletic coaches, law enforcement officers, and parents as partners in supporting our community in simply being available to one another. And whereas every member of our community should understand that throughout life's struggles, we all need the occasional reminder that we are all fighting our own battles. And whereas I encourage all residents to take the time to check in with their family, friends, and neighbors on a regular basis and to honestly communicate their appreciation for their existence by any gesture they deem appropriate. A simple phone call, message, handshake, or a hug can go a long way towards helping someone realize that suicide is not the answer. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor Richard H. Hill, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2020 as National Suicide Prevention Action Month in the village of Round Lake Beach.
This is very early in the process here. We want to make sure we repeat this a couple times this year. It's such a weighing issue on so many people, and the more we can do to help our friends and neighbors, the better. So I hope you all go out there and take this to heart and help each other. Is there a motion by the trustees to approve? So moved. By
Second.
trustee Nichols. Second by Sylvia. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Thank you. Are you all welcome to stay? I know you have a lot of other things going on in your life. You're not going to hurt our feelings if you leave. I thought you'd all leave. Darn it. One of these days you're going to stay.
We should bring the cake over here.
Yeah. Sylvia. That could very well be great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
If we're going to lose a police officer nationally, it will be.
You're okay, don't worry about it. Congratulations anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
God bless. Thank you for that resolution. If we're going to lose an officer nationally, it'll be to suicide.
Yes.
That's statistics.
Tragically.
So thank you for being ahead of the curve God bless. Of course, I would expect nothing.
Thanks, Rob.
God bless, nice
And thank you for
again.
that,
Thank
because
you.
if we lose an officer, it'll be to suicide. The statistics nationally. So thank you for being ahead of the power curve.
yeah.
God bless you all.
God bless you. Thank you.
That's because we don't see you that often.
Yeah, we don't. You've changed so much.
He's a 7-year-old.
He pretty much cleared the hall, didn't he?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. You wonder, what can we do to help? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Had two guys, two Air Force recruits, or not recruits, regular airmen came in from Scott Air Force Base, holding the flag in at Justin's. Me, myself, and the master gunnery sergeant standing there watching him, making sure he folded it. Just see his son.
See you later.
Yeah,
I always see you.
brownies.
Yeah.
Is there a clerk's report tonight?
No, there's not.
Okay, we'll move on to our items of business then. We have several. Item A is a resolution declaring certain police equipment as surplus, conveying it to the Major Crimes Assistant Team. We have a drone camera in our possession that will not work with the drone that we possess, different configurations. MCAT, the Major Crimes Assistance Team, does have a drone that this camera will work in. It's a little bit better than the one they're using now. So in order to, in the spirit of cooperation, we're going to donate it to them for use throughout the county. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved?
Motion by trustee Nichols, second by trustee Husk. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye?
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
That's approved. Item B is a resolution reallocation 2020 volume cap to the Village of Buffalo Grove. There's two parts to this, item B and C here. Each year, we have the ability to use certain financing to construct manufacturing or low-income housing in our community. We don't have any projects that meet the guidelines for that. So we'll be transferring 50% of our finance authority to for the volume cap to Buffalo Grove for manufacturing construction throughout the county, and the other half go to the first-time homebuyers assistance program. This doesn't cost the village anything. It's something that's given to us by the state each year. But the people that are going to be doing the construction can save quite a bit of money through this program if there are any projects. So we put it out there. We've had several people in Round Lake Beach buy homes and use the program, so that's been very nice for them, saved them quite a bit of money. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve? Motion by trustee Stout,
Second.
second by trustee Cleveland. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Stout? Trustee Nichols?
Aye?
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
That's also approved. Item C is the second half of the last one. An ordinance approved the transfer volume cap in connection with the private activity bond issues and related matters. Again, this is the other 50% of the money would go there. And this is the private activity bonds are the ones for the first-time home buyers. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Nichols. Second. Second by trustee Stout. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye?
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
That's also approved. Item D is a resolution approving the purchase of audio equipment relative to the Cultural Civic Center. The audio equipment that's in there right now is the original equipment from when it was installed and when we opened in 2007. That's about 13 years old now. The new equipment will improve our rental opportunities for large gatherings especially. We do have several large gatherings right now that sometimes it's a little embarrassing when the equipment goes down and mics turn off. So hopefully this will alleviate that, and we'll be able to get a lot more rentals and help pay for the building and its costs. Right now, it is an enterprise fund, so it's got to pay for itself through the rentals, the cost of the manning, the cost of the equipment, the cost of any upgrades, so we want to make sure we have plenty of rentals coming in. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Cleveland.
Second.
Second by trustee Husk. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez? Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
And that's also approved. Item E is a resolution authorizing waiving competitive bids and approving award of contract to Midwest Meter Incorporated. We need to order some more water meters to replace the ones that are worn out and for any new construction. This is something we're slowly working and phasing in, changing over from the manual reads to electronic reads. The meters are very expensive, so it's something we're doing a little bit at a time. It'd certainly be nice if there was some kind of grant we get out there to help do that quicker, but they're not available. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Motion by trustee Husk. Second by trustee Valdez. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Stout? Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
That's also approved. Item F is a resolution regarding the release of closed session minutes. Every 6 months, we are required by state law to review our closed minutes and release any that are no longer need to be kept confidential. We had an issue involving some pending litigation that led the minutes being held back for several years. We have a lot of them right now we'll be releasing. Trustees have had a chance to look through all those. Any of the trustees have any questions? Is there a motion to release those closed minutes? Was that trustee Cleveland? Second. Second by trustee Stout. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Valdez? Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
That's also approved. Item G is an ordinance approving a final plat of subdivision for the Ventus subdivision for property at the northeast corner of Rollins Road and Nicole Lane. The Condell facility that sits there right now wants to split their parcel into two, so they have the vacant parcel on the north side of the building for some other type of use. Both parcels will meet the minimum size for our commercial zoning, so it didn't have to go to the plan commission or anything. It's just something they would like to do to split it off and have another use, purchase that from them. I believe purchase it from them, but that'll be their choice in the future. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Husk,
Second.
second by trustee Stout. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
That's also approved. And last item on our agenda, save the best for last. We have appointment of a new trustee. I'm going to be appointing Christy Davis to the vacant trustee position. Her term will expire at the next municipal election in April of 2021. Is there a motion to approve that appointment? Motion by trustee Nichols,
Second.
second by trustee Cleveland. We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
That's approved. Christy, want to come on up and we'll get you sworn in? Raise your right hand. Raise your hand.
State your name, please. Christy Davis. And please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Illinois,
of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of
of the office of
trustee
trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome to the board.
Welcome to the board.
Say hi to the board. all, welcome, Christie. It's great to have you on the board, and look forward to a lot of good things happening in Round Lake Beach.
Thank you, likewise.
Well, that was our last item of business. We do have a executive session tonight. Before that is open to public participation. Anyone has a question or comment for the board, please come to the microphone, either state your comment or ask your question. Well, thank you all for being here tonight. It's always nice to have an audience. We do have executive session for probable pending litigation, land acquisition, executive session minutes, and personnel. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
Moved.
Motion by trustee Husk. Second by trustee Stout. Please call the roll.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye?
Trustee Davis?
Your first vote. That's approved. We will be in executive session. When we come out, we may or may not have any action on those items I discussed. You're welcome to stay, but it's not required. Thank you. Call the meeting back to order for the Village of Round Lake Beach for Monday, February 24th, 2020. We're out of executive session. We have no action on those items. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
trustee Cleveland, second by trustee Valdez. We have motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.